Okay, in this video, we'll talk about IoT in a global context. So actually the content can be summarized using this slide. So basically, a set of mega trends are in combination creating both expectations of capabilities to solve the challenges and technologies that can enable one to address the expected capabilities. So from this, one can further derive a set of IoT technology and business drivers. Basically, in this video, we'll talk about the global game changes. Basically, that's the current status of the world. So what's happening in the world? And also, we'll talk about the advances in the technology and science. Basically, those are the enablers for IoT. So for the game changes, or for the background, we have the required capabilities. And for the technology and science advancement, we have the enabling capabilities. So that shows the need and the possibility of IoT. And based on that, we'll come to the IoT technology and also IoT business aspects. Basically, how IoT will change the technology and also the business. So to put this into more detail, mega trends, so this is a combined word. So mega means the overall, the large area, trends. Basically what's happening now in the world and what's going to happen. So we have the game changers, and this leads to the expected capabilities. Because we have this, for example, natural resource constraints and economic shifts, so we need to have such capabilities, right? But to realize these capabilities, we need to look at what we have now, basically the current technology and science advancement. And this will bring about the enabling technologies. For example, with the advancement of material science, now we have sensing and actuation more affordable and more capable. So based on this interaction of the expected and enabling technologies, so we'll come to the implications in both technology and business. Basically, what we need to, how we should proceed in the technology aspect and business aspect. For the technology, for example, we need to have technology consolidation and also exposure APIs, something like that. And for business, we need to have B2B2C and service-oriented. So basically guidelines here to succeed under the era of IoT. So this table summarizes the flow of this video. So now let's come to the different aspects of this chart. Game changers, basically that's the background. So the game changers come from a set of social, economic, and environmental shifts that create pressure for solutions to address issues and problems, but also opportunities. Basically, those are the challenges and opportunities. For example, for the natural resources, we have constraints. So we are trying to do more with less. We always want to do this, right? And for the economic shifts, so now we are moving from the post-industrial era to a digital economy. So you can read the detailed description here, but I just highlight the keywords. So we are moving into digital economy. And also for the demographics, we are now facing an aging population. So what shall we do? For the socio-economic expectation, we try to improve the well-being of all the people. And we also have the climate change and environmental impacts. We also have the requirement for the public safety and national security. So these are the challenges as well as the opportunities, and also the urbanization. So we have dramatic increase in urban populations, and we are now having more megacities, and we need better city infrastructures to hold so many people and make them live well. So that's the challenges and opportunities. Okay, at the same time, we have some science and technology advancements. So we cover the most important aspects here. The first one is the material science. So basically, we now with the development of MEMSys and NEMSys, okay, basically advanced devices. So we are able to build advanced micro-sized motors and sensors, and they are cheaper and they are more capable. Yeah, those are coming from the material science advancement. And also nowadays we have complex and advanced machinery. Basically, the machines now they are moving towards autonomous or semi-autonomous status. So that also makes IoT more easily to be implemented. And also we have advancement in the energy production and storage. So basically, there are two reasons. There are two reasons why this aspect is relevant to IoT. The first one is that we are now able to secure the availability of electricity more effectively. And another reason is that with the advancement of energy production and storage, now we have new minimized battery technologies and ultra capacitors. Basically, you know that we have many sensors activated in an IoT. So, and they need power, electricity, right? So if the battery can only last for 2 days, so then we need to change batteries very often, which is not applicable. But if a single battery can support a sensor 1 year, so the IoT will not be a dream anymore, right? For the advancement, we'd like to emphasize advancement in the information and communication technology. Basically, IoT is, well, very relevant to this aspect, the information and communication technologies. First of all, we need to have better sensors, actuators, and tags. And also for the embedded processing power. Embedded processing, so that is a terminology. So embedded processing, previously initially it is describing the chips in your, for example, in your mobile phone, or in all the chips embedded in the machine. So in that case, that it is also the backbone for the connectivity and computational capabilities of the IoT devices. And now we have the instant access to the internet by using different methods, using Wi-Fi, using Celery, and some others. So they mentioned some here. And also for the software architecture, it is moving towards the web paradigm. So web paradigm, yeah, you may have some experience now, right? Previously, when you want to write a report or prepare a presentation, you need to download Microsoft Office, right? Install the software in your computer and then use it to create what you need. But now, have you noticed that you can directly edit your file in the, what does it call? In the Office 365? So basically, you don't need to download the software anymore. Instead, you just open the browser and then you can edit your file in the browser. Basically, it is like a web. It is no longer software. So this also brings about the possibility of open platforms. We'll talk about that when we go to the technical aspects. The key point here is that it is moving towards the web paradigm. And a good example is the Microsoft software, right? And Open API are also important. Basically, it permits the creation of really industrial platform allowing components to be combined into multiple different ways to help developers with little or no interaction with those who develop the platform or install the device. To pretty simple, we'll discuss this in detail in chapter 3. So to pretty simple, Open APIs means that, for example, you have two apps in your phone. One is your health monitor app. One is an app helping you to find a restaurant, for example, the Yelp. Okay, so the two apps are developed by different developers, right? But for the health monitor app, a good way, feasible way to use it is that if we can assess what you eat in the last week, or it can access what you are always trying to find. For example, you may be always looking for maybe Chinese food or Mexican food in your restaurant app. So if the health monitoring app can access the information in your restaurant app, then the function I mentioned just now can be realized, right? But as you know, as I mentioned, these two apps are developed by different developers. So this is where the OpenAPI can come into play. Basically, by using OpenAPI, one app can access information using some secured, standardized channel to access the information from another app, so that the information, the data can be shared, so that some novel applications can be realized. So this is an example, but we'll have more detail in chapter 3. Okay, some other advancement including virtualization, cloud computing, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and those things. Key point here is that so we also have many information and communication technology breakthrough in the past maybe 20 years. So those are all helping the realization of IoT in different settings.